Durag Wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Earth Date Y2K 18.07.24. 105 days until the midterm elections. We are in a cold civil war, which may get hot. I have a digital copy of the first season of The Handmaid's Tale that I did not even view yet, and I've owned it for a year. I saw the first season of the show on Hulu, but only after they finally aired all the episodes. The imagining of the Atwood dystopia goes beyond and into such detail as to disturb anyone who is especially attuned to today's headlines, especially its graphic depictions of state legal rape. To put it mildly, this is a movie series that everyone should see, but it is the most difficult movie series to watch. I hope to watch both the first and second season back to back, but decided to just continue with the second. I remembered how difficult it was for me to view the first season, because as the images of the second unfolded, I began to curse at my monitor, my TV, loudly. I even saw myself shaking my fists violently at it while wiping the spittle from my lips. Whenever one of the villainous religious extremist characters appeared to threaten the protagonist, I spoke for the latter by telling the former to go and F themselves. I was screaming this. I actually felt what it would be like to live in such a society, and it made me so angry that I had to interrupt my marathon viewing of season 2 just so I could get some sleep. Because after viewing like 2 to 3 episodes in a row, I needed a rubber mallet to put me into dreamland. The Handmaid's Tale is quality drama, and I understand why it is so difficult for me to watch. We could be seeing the beginnings of such a world in the way fascism is trying to spread across our world today. Many thought that we were evolving into the 21st century, but that was blasted into dust on 9/11 and then reinforced even after we put Obama in office. Our animal instinct, our savage instinct, was reinforced when most voters stayed home and allowed a totalitarian fascist Putin operative named Trump into our Oval Office. It is hard to watch The Handmaid's Tale. It is hard to imagine in 1984, but it is happening before our eyes. We, in these United States of America, are in a cold civil war on its way to getting hot. The reality of religious extremist fascism in our country will be more brutal than anything depicted in a novel or portrayed on the screen. I knew this was coming because we have become so dangerously apathetic, so loyal to our reality show ignorance that the threat simply came in with the tsunami. The rich fascists of our country have been preparing for their takeover for years. They have been monomaniacal in their quest to take over every branch of our government, especially taking over the Supreme Court. Too bad that the limousine liberal left, too enamored with corporate greed and hypocrisy, simply lost their way in super delicate fecal matter. The villainous right could have not have picked a better time to mount their attack. And with the ascension of their nefarious leader, and with his attack on the Supreme Court, traitor Trump has acquired all 3 branches of our federal government. The evil rich have always lived among us in this new and beleaguered land. They have always worked for the downfall of our social safety net. They have craved the totalitarianism of the religious extremists. They also knew that control of the minds of humans lay with their delusional belief in that religious extremism, that invisible God. They have worked tirelessly for a new oligarchy, and thanks to the apathy of the majority, the right-wing fascist religious turds are this much closer to seeing their dreams come true. Totalitarian fascist religious extremism is part of our tribal naked ape ways. This mentality may not go away until we finally wage a war to end all wars. Now, I've been afraid of nuclear war my entire life, but never dreamed that we are closer in the United States of America to a second civil war. In fact, our second bloody civil war may simply be a precursor to the worldwide nuclear war to come. The one our naked ape species has been pining for. This is why it is so hard for me to watch a great movie, TV series as The Handmaid's Tale. I get the feeling that I am not watching fiction, but instead a documentary or even a reality show. One of the most compelling parts of The Handmaid's Tale is its use of flashbacks, because it is with these we learn the insidious ways of totalitarianism. Sometimes Count Dracula wants to drain your blood slowly, keep you alive for his own nefarious purposes. Then at the end, he drains you into a little dried up dead hulk, so flimsy it gets blown by a gentle breeze into nothingness. The Handmaid's Tale illustrates, through the use of flashbacks, how we let the Count fascism drain us slowly of our fundamental democratic rights. I've seen all the signs. The traitor creeps campaign colluded with the fascist Russians to undermine our democratic republic. The traitor Trump creep is following his boss Putin's orders to the letter. Trump has destroyed our Supreme Court for generations to come, and it's even going to be worse. He has downgraded our rule of law. He is besmirching and defiling our land from sea to shining sea. He has opened internment camps for, as he calls, the migrant vermin. He has separated children from their parents, thus traumatizing children for the rest of their lives. How evil can a scumbag like this get? Evil, evil scum! This creep, this traitor Trump is following the playbook to the letter. He and his party support child molesters, sexual assaulters, greedy poisoners of our public lands, and ignorant religious extremists. Is that the kind of country that you want? We better get out and vote. I don't know how the second civil war will be fought. Public land to public land, highway to highway, street to street, house to house. No matter how and no matter where, Putin is going to love to see American blood spilling into the sewers from our streets. And he has his lackey, his puppet, his traitor Trump puppet, Trump, and his Trumpist party helping. This is why it is difficult for me to watch The Handmaid's Tale. But I will, and I give my word, I will fight. This protest includes not being silent when the architect of our fascism, cursed Putin, comes to our precious country. Folks, we should give him a reception he'll never forget. I wish we could just throw piles of shit at this son of a bitch! This son of a bitch, Putin! The protest includes the fight to save our Supreme Court, to save our democratic republic, to keep us from becoming the Handmaid's Tale in 1984, to save us before our civil Cold War gets hot, so that son of a bitch Putin can laugh